I've been at Wellesley for over 20 years, and ever since I've been here, we've been doing the New Zealand speech exams, and the benefits are absolutely huge. I cannot say, how many times we have old boys coming back or their parents and talk about how grateful they are for the focus on oral language that we place and the skills that they get through doing those exams. Is just immeasurable. To be able to stand in front of a bunch of people and articulate themselves clearly and know what to do is just huge. We absolutely value the program. All of our classes from years 3 to 6, it's compulsory to do, and they do that right through for 4 years.
I am Carolyn Currington, and I have taught at Wellesley for about 7 years. I've done the exams with the boys in year 5, year 6 and year 3. I love that in year 3 they do a talk and they do their play, and then it moves up to poetry and having that little bit of improvisation with the telephone conversation.
My name's Bryn Rees. I teach a year 6 class, and one of my favourite things is the NZ speech work. It's fantastic for our boys. I've taught it at year 5 and year 6 and they've thrived on it. I run it over a whole term, and it's just brilliant what it does for the boys. Initially, many of them are reluctant, they're very self-conscious, they're embarrassed, they don't want to get up and speak, but the fact that it's a mix of poetry, reading and research and presenting, it makes it sort of a program where they can succeed in at least 1 or 2. They come out, it's like, oh, that was easy. Wish I hadn't worried and all that, but it's natural.
When they're coming back from their exams today, they're just so excited. They're on top of the world and they're like, that was great, I feel amazing. Yeah. And even the older boys, it's all about the badges, and I really like that, so it takes the pressure off a little bit. They're thrilled if they get distinction, but actually it's not about that. They're thrilled just to achieve. And even if it wasn't perfect, it doesn't matter, because in that moment they feel like they've achieved and they've done really well. And I've got a few boys who have quite a few learning needs and are in our learning support system, and they have been able to do this really, really well. And I know historically my own son, when he came through Wellesley, he's dyslexic and struggles academically, but really thrived because he's a great talker. And so for those children who aren't necessarily academic, it's a really great platform.
Even my shy boys, and they managed to break through that because they learn skills to overcome.
Being able to speak clearly and communicate is just pivotal. So anytime they stand up and talk about anything, they're going to know how to look at an audience and talk to everybody. We've talked a lot about pace and a lot about volume, so they know that when you're talking it needs to be slower so that the audience has time to take on board what you're saying. Those skills are pivotal because we often get asked to talk whether we like it or not, but having had that experience, I don't think it will sort of freak them out as much now. And I think if you're starting at year 3s, to be able to present a 2 to 3 minute talk, but if they can do that at 7, it's just going to mean, the world is their oyster, really. The syllabus is quite well laid out. It's pretty apparent what they need to be able to do to be successful. So that really helped to direct the teaching.
The grading is very professional. The most common comment afterwards is adjudicator was really nice and really friendly and really helpful.
Home has been amazing. Learning their plays and feeling confident with their talks has taken a lot of time, but I think the benefits outweigh the time involved. Our boys planned their talks at home. We planned them at school and they wrote them. And with the plays, we practiced them, every day really, and they learnt those lines at home as well. So it was really a homeschool partnership, and I think that's really important. Awesome. But we could have done it all at school, but our particular curriculum is really jam-packed, so that was the balance for us. As a program in itself, I think it could be done in any school.
Probably 2 to 3 hours a week in the classroom. They do a lot of the work at home. And I give them a comprehensive breakdown and they take that home, work through that.
If you build it into your literacy program as part of that oral language component, And then, it does, require that we communicate with the parent, and they're very supportive, so the boys can practice what they're doing at home, but they get the guidance and tuition around what's expected and the help and support in class, and then, just sort of use homework time as practice time. So if you build it into what you're normally doing, it's not a huge extra.
Definitely, they see the improvement in their confidence and in their oral reading skills. They see their improved confidence with being in front of an audience.
Yeah.
Definitely, like my boys give their captain's talks at the aftermatch, you can just see the level of improvement from the fact that they've done it in front of their peers.
Yeah, no, we're definitely committed to the program.